Hi, 8th grade. Good morning. This video is for Friday, May 1st. It's already May Day. When I was young, we used to do May Day baskets and leave them on our neighbors' front porches and ring the doorbell and run. I don't think that's something that ever happens in Michigan, but happy May Day. We are on 4.5, active and passive voice. As you look over lesson 4.5, the active and passive, the basic difference is in the active voice, the subject is doing the action. Sorry, boy, my hand was really close to the screen. And in the passive voice, it's not. The giveaway is that the passive voice uses a form of be, like am, is, are, was, were, with the past tense of the verb. So whenever you see that verb construction, you'll know that the verb is in the passive voice. So active voice, it says a transitive verb has a voice. When a transitive verb is in the active voice, the subject is the doer of the action, like Congress passed the bill. But in the passive voice, the subject is the receiver of the action. The bill was passed by Congress. Now notice was is a form of be, like I told you just a minute ago, and that makes it in the passive voice. The bill was being studied in committee, and that being the verb was, the form of be, indicates to you that it's in the passive voice. In the first sentence, Congress is the subject and it's the doer of the action passed. The verb, therefore, is in the active voice. In the second sentence, the subject, Bill, is the receiver of the action, was passed. So the verb is in the passive voice. A verb in the passive voice is formed by combining some form of be, like am, is, are, was, were, be, been, being, with the past participle of the main verb. And a reminder, the past participle is the past tense form of a main verb. Only transitive verbs, that means those that can have objects, only transitive verbs can be used in the passive voice. Which of the following sentences is in the passive voice? So it says Nicole writes articles for the magazine. Now in that case, Nicole does the action of writing, so she's the subject, and that's active voice. The articles for the magazine are written by Nicole. Now again, are is a form of be, which indicates to you then that it's passive voice because are written is your verb phrase, and are is a form of be, and that's how we form the passive voice. And it tells us we're correct, just as we knew from up above. Sentences in the active voice are generally more alive and direct. They are more often than passive used in writing novels and in the writing that you might do. And you're going to come across it more regularly than passive, but you still need to know how to figure out passive voice. I gave the speech. I is a subject, the action of giving, I gave, so that's active voice. That's more direct. The speech was given by me. Now, the same idea is conveyed, but the stronger meaning comes from the first sentence when we use active voice. It seems to make it more alive and more concrete for us. Sometimes, though, passive voice can be better and be the better choice. For example, when the doer of the action is unknown or unimportant. And if we don't know who's doing the action, the passive voice would be the one to use. Every house on the street was painted a different color. Was painted is the verb construction that shows passive voice because was is the form of be, and then painted is the past participle of the main verb. We are going to look at exercise 1 today, where you need to list the verb phrase and then label it active or passive voice. So in number 1, the Constitution of the United States was ratified in 1788. Was ratified is our verb. Was is part of the verb be, so that makes, and ratified is the past participle, so that makes the construction passive voice. So your answer will be was ratified equals passive. So only exercise 1 on this lesson. And you should have finished peer reviewing with a partner in a Google Doc so that comments could be made. On Tuesday, I'm going to ask for those to all be shared with me so that I can review through them and we can get you into the final submission of that. God's blessings.